The Byer 66 usually came complete with a radio tuner. This made it very popular with educational institutions as they could record the Australian Broadcasting Commission's schools programs.
ABC Radio, second network.
The ABC presents the Eureka Treason Trials, an account of the legal proceedings which followed the uprising at the Eureka Stockade. The Eureka Treason Trials was written by J. King and J. A. Ford and is narrated by Ron Roberts.
December 1854 was a time of violence on the Ballarat goldfields in Victoria.
If you're fortunate to be rich enough to have one of these machines for home use, you could record all the hit parade programs and never have to buy a 45 record again.
The Voice of South Australia, stations 5KA, 5AU, 5RM, the time now 15 minutes to 6. The All Straits Hit Parade. Good evening, everyone. With the time at 3 and 6 here at 2GZ, the brightest sound in radio, we say hi and welcome to the Friday evening program. And from now until 6:30, it's Hits of the Day. And first up on the show, Mr. Ben E. King. I went to the hermit of a misty mountain. All you good folk at the drive-in tonight, you're out to see a fine show. We'll tell you more about it later on. Let's have our first disc. This is a very hot import on Cap Records for young Johnny Symbol. Hey, Mr. Bassman.
Mr. Bassman, you've got that certain something, Mr.
That's a young Scottish-born kid recording for Cap Records in this country. Hey, Mr. Bassman, I want to be a bassman too. A very hot prediction on the American charts and in this country. You're on news to the drive-in. Time checks in right on 7:15 3/4 minutes.
The 66 was somewhat smaller than the 77 Mark I, although it followed the same design criteria. It could either be rack-mounted or used as a desktop unit. This was a much more advanced machine, mainly due to the S-shaped tape path, which allowed easy access to the heads for cleaning and editing, and was much easier to thread.
In 6:15. Gay time. Streets Gay time.
Streets Gay Time.
Gay time. Streets Gay time. It's the new ice cream sundae on a stick. What a combination.
Strawberry Shortcake Gay Time has strawberry-flavored centers surrounded by Streets ice cream. It couldn't be creamier. It's all dipped in choc coating and crumbly golden shortcake.
It's new strawberry shortcake. Gay time.
Streets Gay Time.
The tape was naturally against the heads, but pushed off during spooling to reduce head wear and excessive levels. If you wanted to monitor during tape spooling, you could use the shuttle control. The spooling had 4 forward and reverse speeds and was very controllable. It was very fast but not quite as powerful as the 77 Mark I, probably just as well. The 66 had a bigger speaker, but a smaller, although cute, VU meter. On the input side we have 600 ohms balanced in, although not via a transformer, an unbalanced mic input and unbalanced high impedance input. The input switch lets you select between the tuner, 600 ohm input, microphone or high impedance.
But clearly a very interesting story. You can...
There's a tone control that takes up the space of the balanced Canon UA mic connector in the more expensive 77 Mark II model. It's a push-pull output stage that gives us our 600 ohms speaker and headphone monitoring. There's no separate monitor amplifier, just a separate winding on the 600 ohm transformer. And the speaker control is just a rheostat.
Fairly reasonable rates.
That's not bad.
For a loan?
For a loan. He's only about $800 a week. He's working for his wife as a consultant.
These machines were aimed at a more general market than just broadcasting. There were some compromises made, but still they gave excellent results and still do. Although the Byer 66 was a 3-head machine, there was no simultaneous tape replay monitoring available. This was because the first valve was switched between a microphone amplifier and the tape head preamp. You could buy an add-on box that would give you this facility.
For quick relief from rheumatism, sciatica, neuritis and neuralgia, take genuine Vincent's powders or tablets. The time is 7:45. Breakfast time with Jeffrey's bread. We now present the national and Victorian state news.
The time at Radio 3UL in central Gippsland is just after 3:30, and we have dial for music through until 4:30, with a break for the Herald Sun news headlines at 4 o'clock.
Blame it on the bossa nova. That was Edie Gomez. It's 7:25.
This is the Advertiser Broadcasting Network. 10 o'clock temperature in Adelaide, 68.2. The barometer, 29.70 inches and falling. 5 AD, 5 PI, 5 MU and 5 AC, the Advertiser Broadcasting Network. Just after 10:15.
Coming from Ricky Nelson, A Young World. Don't forget at 6 o'clock the latest news from the Macquarie newsroom. Following that we have the latest weather information for you. And after that, more hits of the day. Time being from 2WG, 6 1/4 to 6.
Ken Starks will be back again next Saturday at 5:15 for another presentation of the All-Australian Pit Parade, presented by Goodwin, the TV people of Griffith. This is Radio 2CA, the two-state station serving Canberra, Queanbeyan, Yassa and District. The time is 15 minutes to 6.
You are in tune with the Sunraysia Broadcasting Service, Radio 3MA Mildura. Australian Eastern Standard Time is 7 o'clock. Please stand by as we cross to the Australian Broadcasting Commission for a relay of the latest news. We take you now to the ABC.
This is the news from the ABC, read by Paul McClark. Here are the headlines. Australia's contribution to the CETA force in Thailand will be a squadron of Sabre jet fighters.